Institutionalization of crypto is happening in a very big way, and this is actually extremely bullish for XRP. And if you do hold XRP, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you want to stay around until the end of this video. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. If we take a quick look at what has been happening around crypto, obviously the big focus is ETFs, what BlackRock's doing, what this players is doing. Well, even more recently, we have been noticing that these big players like BNY Mellon, for an example, are clearing the SEC review and ultimately getting fast-tracked into having custody services for Bitcoin and Ether for their clients. This is crazy. So as we think about what's happening here, right? The regulators are handing this space off to Wall Street and the big TradFi guys, but this was going to be the case. Anyone could have seen this from a mile away, especially with what was happening back in 2023 with, Operation Choke Point 2.0. But one thing that I will say is this is technically very bullish for XRP. I don't like it. It's not something that I'm very happy about because, we are handing over that control, but it is very bullish for XRP. And if you do hold XRP, then you should be happy about this technically. If we go over here, we have BNY Mellon, first US bank that the SEC has approved to custody crypto. You will one day be able to hold crypto in your traditional bank account, just like cash. Big shout out to Chad Steingrave before this, but yes, technically he is right. Because, one thing that I've always said about crypto and more so about the adoption of crypto is having these names like BNY Mellon and, Bank of America, Citi, being able to have crypto in your bank account, in your traditional bank account, is a game changer. Why? Well, for us, for those that are already in this space, that is aware of the technology, that knows how the technology works, or you know how to set up a wallet at least. You've been around this space for a little bit of time. We are ahead of like 99% of the general public. And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people will not be investing into crypto or holding crypto until their bank account actually offers crypto, custody. And it's because they don't trust it. They don't like, going onto a centralized exchange or even a DEX and buying crypto. It confuses them. They're technologically illiterate. I'm going to just say it, right? They don't know how the tech works. They don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to set up wallets. So being able to, learn it, which I think is a big step for a lot of people, because nowadays people don't want to learn things. Being able to learn the process of setting up wallets, having cold storage set up, it puts you ahead of so many people. The majority, 99%. I've always said 99% because, it's not an exaggeration. It is 99% of the general public. When you look at how many people hold some of these altcoins like XRP, it is crazy. But that's why we are ahead of the 99% because we're already invested. We're already holding these assets before the sheep and the herd jumps into crypto, because all of a sudden BNY Mellon or, Bank of America or Citi or JP Morgan is now offering crypto custody to their clients. That's where the big wave comes. Now, also over here, we have Ripple and XRP era of tokenized assets begins. BNY Mellon, the world's largest custodian bank, reports that 97% of asset managers believe tokenization will revolutionize finance. BNY Mellon's head of digital assets products departs for Ripple back in January of 2024. Has Ripple positioned the XRP ledger to dominate the tokenization of real-world assets? Now, this video is from Paul Barron. Before I play this real quick, I just want to say, yeah, that's another thing to focus on here. It's not so much about how bullish, custody is for crypto, because banks being custodians for crypto will lead to mass adoption, no doubt. But it's the next phase. It's what actually matters beyond that, because most of what they're going to be offering their clients is just Bitcoin and Ethereum, which you're not going to get rich investing into Bitcoin and Ethereum. The big players here are the ones that are going to be the homes of trillions of dollars on chain that will be tokenized, that will be transacting 24/7, 365, that have, the scalability to offer financial use cases. XRP and the XRP ledger is continuing to be upgraded. I mean, it really is a future-proof ledger. The asset itself is very valuable, in my opinion. I know that you might go and look at CoinMarketCap and say, well, it's at this cents, so it's not really valuable. The use case potential behind XRP is what makes it so valuable. I don't look at XRP as, one XRP equals so many cents. I look at it as, if XRP actually facilitates the efficient movement of assets cross border, if it really does infiltrate that market in a big way where it's, moving 1, 5, 10% of that market, all of a sudden XRP and all of these price predictions around XRP and whatever, people think about XRP, it gets thrown out the window. That's why the value behind utility is yet to be seen by most. They can't see past the price action of today. That's why I say being a visionary in this space is so crucial. So as we do look at tokenization, yeah, that's the next step for all of these players like asset managers and big banks. But check this out.
For XRP or for Ripple, tokenized assets are going to be the vehicle that this is going to, I think, transact around. And if you follow where the money is going, you probably would agree. Here's a clip to talk about that.
BNY Mellon is the world's largest custodial bank. They're the bank that your banks bank with. And they did a study of institutional asset managers to get their opinions on what they think about this space. And that report found that 97% of asset managers believe that tokenization will revolutionize the asset management industry. The ones with more than $1 trillion, basically the largest asset managers, 100% of them are interested in this space. So I don't know about you, but I've always been told, follow the money. And this is where the money is going.
And if you do follow the money and you also follow the major moves of key executives, because that usually is another indicator. Here's one right here. BNY Mellon's head of digital asset product departs for, guess what, Ripple. So do you guys see this? I mean, hopefully you're watching this right now and you're thinking, this is the potential, bellwether component of the market that is going to start to really perk its head up there in terms of real world assets and tokenized securities all starting to become.
And yeah, you know what? If we really do think about following the money, yeah, we have to look at these players that are on the board of directors at Ripple. We have to look at these players that are leaving these big positions and going over to Ripple as well, because it shows you that they have a ton of confidence behind the success of Ripple. And if we think about the technology that Ripple is pioneering, all of a sudden we have to look at, all right, well, what tech are they using? They're using XRP and the XRP ledger. And if we go over here as well, here we have JP Morgan's Chief of Regulatory Affairs, Sandy O'Connor, also serves on the board of Ripple. Big shout out to Smoke Dog for this. And not only does she serve, on the board of directors and she's from JP Morgan, but she's also, and let me open this up in a new tab real quick, she is also a chair of the board of BNY Mellon. Interesting. So another player that has a connection back to BNY Mellon. Now, also in BNY Mellon's report, the world's largest custodian of assets with 48 trillion in assets under management, this is their confidential presentation. Illustration of blockchain and financial services virtual scape highlights Ripple and Stellar as special infrastructure and base protocols, the only two with this designation. And look at the list here. Look at how many players are actually on this list. And we have at the bottom under special, Ripple and Stellar. Very interesting. Now, why would that be? Well, over here we have a few of the reasons why BNY Mellon classified Ripple and Stellar as special blockchains. Ripple and Stellar are the only companies that provide the application of DLTs to correspondent banking infrastructures. Ripple and Stellar were both documented by BNP Paribas as open protocols for institutions. Ripple and Stellar were both cited within ISO documentation as blockchains with interoperability across the SWIFT network. And if we actually look here, we have Ripple and Stellar as the most cited use cases of blockchain technologies for remittances and payments. As it will be expanded upon in section, the application of blockchain technologies to correspondent banking, only Ripple and Stellar provide applications of DLTs to correspondent banking infrastructures. And also over here, we have open protocols for institutions, Ripple with XRP, and Stellar a Ripple derivative. And on the last slide here, we also have, this is the full breakdown proposed of standards to allow interoperability and governance across blockchains. We have similar to the SWIFT ISO 20022 standard allowing interoperability. And this is all through that interledger protocol. And again, if we really think about what's going on here, it's clear that the connections and the links back to Ripple and even Stellar. I mean, we have to mention Stellar and XLM as well because it's very significant, but it's crazy when you look at a lot of the documents, the PDF files, the connections back to organizations like the IMF, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, even the BIS. It's crazy how significant Ripple has become in just the last couple of years, even though it's been in the middle of a lawsuit. Literally in the middle of a lawsuit. That's why I always say, like, avoid the SEC at all costs. Don't even pay attention to what they say because it is all nonsense. It is a distraction away from the real value. But also outside of this, over here from Mr. Man XRP, we have BNY Mellon, largest custody in the world with 44 trillion worth of assets under custody, and 20% of investable assets touch BNY Mellon every day. And check this out.
Benjamin Duva, I work for BNY Mellon, part of the digital assets business, look at tokenization. And who doesn't know, BNY Mellon is the largest custodian in the world with 44 trillion of assets under custody, and about 20% of investable assets touch BNY Mellon every day.
Hello, everyone.
So there we have those insights there. And also over here, we have from the Ripple website, BNY Mellon reinventing payments. Again, the largest custodian in the world, 40 trillion plus. Insane. Now, a more updated view of this we have from Subjective Views. Here's BNY Mellon Chief Operating Officer of Digital Assets, Katie Niate, seated beside Ripple's Eric Van Miltenberg, SVP of Strategic Initiatives, for a panel on tokenization. Interestingly, she noted that her clients want to have interoperability between traditional and digital assets. This can sometimes be done in-house, but can also be achieved with the use of third-party blockchains to manage their 50 trillion worth of assets under custody in the traditional space. And check this out.
Thanks. Hi, Katie Nick here. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Digital Assets business at BNY. We set up our digital assets business 3 years ago now, and launched our crypto custody capability in October 22. But really, the idea of tokenization and the threat and opportunity that tokenization presents to our traditional business is what's been driving us all this time. So BNY celebrated its 240th birthday last year, so very different than the company that I'm on stage with. And we have, $50 trillion worth of assets under custody in the traditional space. But what we hear from our clients is, as the world changes, they want to be able to have interoperability between their traditional and their digital assets. They want to be able to do that through the value chain. So our strategy as a business is to create the products and create the opportunities for clients to achieve just that. Sometimes that's building ourselves on our own digital asset platform. Sometimes that's working with third-party platforms. And the way we've gone about building our business is to think about integrating both with our traditional tech stack, but also by incorporating partners and third-party blockchains into our network as well. So for a very old bank in a very new space, it's a really interesting opportunity. The stats around tokenization bear out with our clients, and our clients are the biggest asset managers, asset owners, dealers, the people that we can see here in front of us. They all want to make this.
And we also know that Ripple has connections right back to some of the largest banks out there through Medico as well. And this is all around the tokenized economy. So they're already working with some of the biggest names in the institutional side of, finance. So wouldn't it make sense for BNY Mellon, that already has connections back to Ripple, major connections back to Ripple, by the way, wouldn't it make sense for them to go and utilize third-party blockchains, like, for an example, the XRP ledger with Ripple, to manage their $50 trillion worth of assets under custody on chain? And if we go back to this video, listen closely.
Collaboration is always much more successful, providing we have a set understanding of what the rules of the game are, and that really comes down to the regulatory aspect that we have, that ensures that at the end of the day, the owner of the asset can sleep at night in the knowledge that they know what they own and they have legal title to it. It's being kept in a secure way.
And, these are industry leaders around the institutional side of things. We're talking about Zodiac Custody with Standard Chartered, HSBC, and Medico, which Ripple did buy and it became Ripple, Medico has connections back to Citi, BNP Paribas, some of the largest names out there, and also BNY Mellon. So when we think about what's happening here, I do believe that the stage is being set here for XRP to truly take over in the tokenization of assets, the tokenized economy. The era of the tokenized economy is beginning already on the XRP ledger. And I do think that this is going to wake XRP up in such a significant way once we start to see money really flowing on chain. Because right now we're talking about billions. When we start talking about trillions, that's when everything becomes very, very serious. That's when the game officially begins. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.